People are tired of virtual meetings. Your small group members are tired of virtual meetings. You're probably tired of watching this video already because you're just on your screen all the time. But I'm going to try to give you a couple quick thoughts to help make your small group meetings more fruitful online. And hopefully, by God's grace, we won't be doing this too much longer, but who knows? So one of the things that I would really encourage is to give space and time to prayer and sharing. You've probably already figured this out a long time ago. You may have figured out all these suggestions, but it just takes people longer online to open up and to share, but they also have a greater felt need for that. In fact, the men's group that I'm in at my church, we stopped doing a study for the majority of COVID because our felt need was just that sense of connection and to be able to pray for each other. My group, that we're all fathers of young families, and that's what we needed. So you may consider alternating weeks, a week of a study and then a week of prayer and sharing. If you have a bigger group, you may consider using the breakout room functionality, which I can show you if you want to reach out to me if you don't know how that works, to take your larger small group, break it into little chunks for prayer and for sharing so people have plenty of time to do that. And you could also just have a longer study if you're able. But I would really encourage that. People need that sense of connection to each other, but really they need that sense of connection to the Lord. So try that. You may want to make your study more engaging visually, and there's a number of ways you can do that. So in the groups that I've been leading during COVID, we've tried a bunch of things. We've done some video studies where I can share my screen and we can all watch it together. So that way, if it's a paid study, nobody else has to purchase it, or even if it's a free study, you're watching it at the same time. It's been much more engaging to do that. When we've done book studies, including the scriptures, but specifically Christian books, I've purchased the ebook or the PDF, and then I'll screen share and we can read together, which again, I think is more engaging and interactive. And specifically when we've been looking at the scriptures, I'll go and, let's say it's at a particular area of Israel, or Jesus is giving a particular analogy or something. I'll go ahead of time and I'll look online and find pictures that are representative, either that an artist has made of that moment from the scriptures, or photography of that area of the world, and we'll share those with the group. And I just find little things like that actually really kind of break up the monotony of just sitting and talking, and certainly of sitting and listening to me talk. And then the last thing to promote more interaction is virtual meetings, as you know, are much less interactive than in-person meetings, because largely you just sit there quietly while other people talk, and it gets kind of tedious. So you really want to give people something to contribute to. There's a couple ways you can do that. One is I would really encourage you to ask broad, open-ended questions. So what I've done is I've spent much more of my preparation time than normal on really understanding the material, and much less time on creating a bank of questions that I want to get through, where maybe I would normally come in with 8 to 10, 8 to 15 questions. I might come in with 3 big, broad questions and then know the material well enough to be able to be flexible, but that lets it be a much more open-ended conversation that's more engaging, instead of me asking a question, somebody giving an answer while everybody else watches, me asking another question, somebody else giving an answer, which is just not as interesting. You can distribute responsibility, give different people in your group roles. This person takes down the prayer request, this person opens in prayer every week, this person reads the scripture, that kind of thing, whatever your group would like, but that sense of responsibility is more engaging. And then if you really want to get kind of more intricate on the technology side, which you may or may not be comfortable with, the chat feature in Zoom actually can be really helpful. I thought it was going to be distracting, but in one of the groups that I have led, a lot of folks have used that. And so when a question comes up during the study, they will put it in the chat and then we can come back to it, or other people can kind of engage with them on it if it's a little bit of a tangent. And I really was, to be honest, I thought that was going to get us off track, but it's actually, I think, contributed to the larger discussion really well, because we can it helps more people feel like they're involved in the conversation simultaneously. So that's actually been really helpful. If you want to give that a shot, again, I can help you with that. And then there's actually a poll functionality within Zoom. If you just do a search for Zoom polls, there's a quick article that gives you like a 2-minute video overview. that would take some more work. It may not be worth the time you'd have to put into it, but that kind of thing can be really engaging. Just to ask the group a couple questions and they can just click, 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 and you get instant feedback. And again, would require a more concerted sense of time. But these small groups are always incredibly beneficial to people in our personal lives, in our relational health, and also, most importantly, in our connection to Christ. But right now, as you are experiencing, they're vital. And so here at Needle's Eye, we so appreciate all of you and the effort you're putting in. I know that it's been complicated in different ways and challenging in different ways, but thank you. Thank you for persevering. And please reach out with any specific questions you have, and we're praying for you. Thanks.